What does a career as a barista look like? I'll tell you my story and some of the opportunities that are out there for you. Hey guys, I'm Jimmy. Welcome back to the Artisti YouTube channel where we guide you through all things coffee. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video and hit the bell icon so you get notified of all of our future videos. Today, I wanted to talk about what it is to be a barista. What are the things that I've found on my journey to get me to where I am that have really helped me, some of the things that I've learned, share some of the things that I think are good advice for someone that's looking at it as a career option, or maybe you're already a barista and you're thinking about what the next step is for you or whether it's the right job to stay in. So let's start with my story. So 17 years ago, my parents opened a cafe in my hometown. And I washed dishes. That was the first thing I did. I wasn't allowed on the coffee machine. I wasn't allowed to be out the front because I didn't know how to talk to people yet. Eventually, I started making coffee, but I wasn't actually allowed to make it until I drank it. I studied a little bit of frontline management in hospitality, but I'm not necessarily formally trained in hospitality. This has always just been a life experience kind of thing for me. Now, once I hit 20 or so, I moved away and I moved to the Gold Coast and I made coffee there in a roasting house and an espresso bar. And that was really just a means to an end to make money while I played music and partied and whatever I did. Not long after, moved down to Sydney, working in different cafes with some of the top brands, and I would make coffee 40, 50 hours a week. And I started to get a bit tired, and at times I wasn't sure if it was right for me, but it was always a great flexible job. I moved from different cafes, really high volume espresso bars and takeaway coffee options. I then studied music business and I tried to get out of coffee, but coffee was always something that I did love, but I just wasn't necessarily sure if I wanted to do it full time every day for the rest of my life. So eventually did get out of coffee and I got into a design job and I started doing marketing and advertising, and I sat behind an office desk for 40 hours a week, and I found that I actually really missed people. So it's been a journey for me to realize, to come full circle back to where I am now. When the opportunity came to work for Artisti, it was a perfect mix for me to introduce all the skills that I had in marketing and in sales and all the work that I'd done in different jobs, but then all the background that I had in coffee is now why I can sit behind a camera and talk about coffee and help do training. But that was definitely a career path I didn't see coming, and I couldn't have done that without being a barista. There are a lot of different career choices and careers and jobs in the coffee industry that are done best if you have made coffee before. So I just covered a few of the positive things, but let's just talk about what they are. Let's think about the flexibility in your hours. I used to also love getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and finishing by 2 or 3 in the afternoon. So if you've got a family, maybe you want to travel, being able to move around and change jobs and have that flexibility between jobs is a positive. You'd love it. There's definitely benefits to that. And the other thing I love in my job now, I just do it on a bigger scale, but when I worked in a cafe and I worked hands-on with just a small group of people, I love the culture. Hospitality is one of the industries that has this really special culture and bond between staff. You all sweat together, you work hard, everyone's in it together, and there's a real camaraderie and friendship there that you build. If that's the kind of lifestyle that you love to live, then coffee would be a great job for you. I also found that coffee was something that wasn't an age barrier. It was something that I could grow in, and no one was really telling me how fast or how slow I had to do it, like other careers where there's a formal path. I was able to get management jobs and I was able to look after other staff and do training, and it wasn't always about how old I was or how long I'd been in that job. It was more often my skill. It'd have to be one of the most affordable jobs to get into. There's a lot of opportunity for free training, and that's not something that you'll find in a lot of industries. So take advantage of that. So challenges. As much as I love that flexibility, I found it hard once I started to have kids and I wanted to kind of buy a house for my family. Definitely opportunities as a barista. Just talk to your bosses, see if there's opportunities for salaries or what other things you can arrange. I'm not going to lie, you're going to get hot and sweaty and dirty and you're going to work hard. So if you're a bit precious, maybe being a barista might not be the best job for you. But if you love the craft and you love the hospitality environment and the culture that comes with it, you'll enjoy being a creative person, getting to work hands-on with good equipment and make great coffee every day. So it's definitely something for me as a creative person that I enjoyed. So I love the creative side of coffee, whether it be latte art, extractions, and nowadays I get to do that creative side through marketing and design and branding with Artisti. So where to from here? You've been a barista, or maybe you're looking at becoming a barista and you're not sure if that's the big picture for you. Now, put it this way. Making coffee is just the end result. The customer buying the cup of coffee, great. You get that satisfaction where they love drinking coffee, but where does that coffee come from? It's got to come from roasteries where there's opportunities for roasting. If you're an engineer type person, you'll enjoy maybe being a service technician. If you're a creative, maybe you want to work in the marketing department and help me make videos like this. If you're a designer and you want to design coffee bags and branding, there's a lot of space for that as well in the industry, and it's a real sought after craft. All of these things are really important in the industry, but I've found that it really helps if you have some background in coffee, if you understand that, and being a barista is the best background in coffee for you. You've been hands-on, you understand it, you know what the customers are looking for. So whether you're working in the supply chain and logistics, whether you're working in the management team and you're helping staff, maybe you're a salesperson, you're helping people set up cafes like I do every week, and I'm in and out of cafes training. I spend my weeks traveling around to see all my customers drinking coffee, talking to them about how I can help them grow their business. It's the ultimate scenario for me now that I'm not behind a machine 40 hours a week, but I honestly couldn't have done that without being a barista in the first place. So it was totally something I missed on my radar. I didn't realize that I would even be able to do that from being a barista, which is why I was kind of compelled to do this video. Maybe you relate to that. I don't know, maybe if you have progressed your career outside of being a barista into different areas of the coffee industry, chuck it in the comments below. I'd love to know what your journey is, or tell us your story and what your advice is. So just to sum up, let's talk about some of the top tips that I have for you that will help you progress your career from a barista and into the industry, that are really going to help you along your journey. And that would have to be, if you get the opportunity, be the first barista in a cafe. It's great to learn how to set up a cafe from scratch and grow that brand and grow that customer base. I was lucky enough that I got to be the first barista in maybe 5 different cafes as a barista that I didn't realize at the time was having such an impact on my understanding of growing a business and setting up all the processes and procedures and setting the expectation for the customers of what their coffee is going to be like every day from this new cafe. I'd also say that flexibility and moving around was a huge advantage. As much as I might have felt like I wasn't able to hold a steady job for some time, I learned a lot from every single cafe that I worked in. Every manager that I worked under had some advice for me that I've taken to the next job, and it's just compiling all of this great knowledge and information that I share with my customers now. Take advantage of coffee training. Take advantage of your reps. Go to trade shows. Go to as many latte art competitions as you can. Improve on your craft. Even if it's not your number one thing in your life, great, have hobbies, all those things. But if you're making coffee every day, you want to love it and you want to improve on it. So be sure to watch all of our videos. Make sure you're learning as much as you can from YouTube. It's definitely a great free resource. Make friends with all the reps. Be sure to know who everyone is. Get a feel for the industry. If there's someone that you think has a really cool job, ask them how they got their job, or if there's an opportunity in their company for you. And lastly, start building your own personal brand and reputation. Reputation for being able to make a great cup of coffee. Reputation is really what's going to get you that next job. It's going to make sure that you're able to progress your career. People are talking about you even having your own social media accounts. Like I've got a personal coffee account that I run through Instagram, which is a great way for me to connect with my customers and my on my own level as a brand person. That's valuable to the businesses that you work for. So building your personal brand, but really as a barista, it's a reputation. You want your customers to walk in the door and be stoked to see you on the machine, because you're the person that they want to make sure that you're making their coffee every day and you're passionate about your job. And in that, I'm passionate about my job now because I do love the industry. I love all the things I've learned, and I want to make sure that I can help you on your journey, either to become a barista or to continue to be a barista and do amazing work behind the machine. And if that eventuates into other jobs in the industry, amazing. If I can help in any way, put your comments below. I'll read them all and reply and help where I can. So if you like this video, we've got other videos on milk training, espresso, other cafe coaching, roasting. There's heaps of content on our channel. Check it out. Plus there's heaps more videos set for this year. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the bell icon because it'll notify you when we put up a new video. And hopefully this helps you. I'll catch you next time, guys. Cheers. Bye.